Alright, so what's going on, folks? Well, today we're going to do something a little bit different than what we normally do on the channel. Winter is here.
I'm a whiskey drinking SOB. If you don't like that, then you won't like me. I'm an outlaw. I said I'm an outlaw.
Bass fishing has slowed down quite a bit. We're still catching. We're just not catching the quality or the quantity that we've been catching. So, I really haven't been posting anything because of that. But on the aspect of what we're doing here today is I've been asked a lot by people on YouTube, my followers, my subscribers, whatever. I've been asked a lot by these guys here in the community that are into doing fishing and stuff like that, people I fish with, people I run into, stuff like that. But basically I've been asked by everybody how I got into this. What do I do? I get that same old story, man. I went and bought a GoPro and I throw a chesty on and I go out and I fish, but now I don't know what to do to get it up on YouTube or what I need to do to edit it or whatever. So basically what I'm going to run through today is I'm going to do a little breakdown on my my GoPro Hero 4s, the settings I run them on, and then I'm going to let a little free tip out on the back. I'm going to let a little tip out on the editing software that I use. Basically, I use GoPro Studio, so I'm going to go ahead and run y'all through it. Just do a really, it won't be quick, it'll be long because it's in detailed a little bit. But, just basically going to throw up just a junk video together, going to kind of run through and edit it up a little bit, and, basically go from there. So that's basically what these videos are going to be about. It's going to be about what settings I run and how to use GoPro Studio and where to find GoPro Studio. So let's get into the video. So with my GoPro itself, I've got two of the Hero 4s. They're the ones that have the backlit screen on them. That's pretty much what I use to shoot with all the time. I've got one which is my main GoPro that's got I think it's 125 card in it, and I think this one has a 64 card in it. So I used 125 as my primary, and this is my my secondary for different angles or for chesty if I've got the primary on a pole mount or something like that. So my settings I typically roll with is going to be 180 resolution. I use roughly 60 frames per second, and my field of view I either use wide or I use medium. It just depends on where I've got the camera mounted, how I'm doing it, etc. It works a lot better than linear because it gives you a broader view. I'm not very fond of the wide because it gives you too much of a broad view and it gives you kind of a fisheye. But when you're fishing in a regular situation, the medium seems to work pretty good. Other than for shooting this video, I just switched my primary, which is the one that y'all are watching, I'm recording from. I just switched it from medium to linear because here in a minute I'm going to turn the camera around at my computer monitor, and it had a major fisheye effect with it on the medium. Okay, so how you adjust those settings, this is probably going to be different for all the GoPros, but you've got the button on the side that has a little wrench on it. You push that button. Okay, you're on your video screen. You push that button, it comes up right there. And you can see, I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but you can see the resolution, frames per second, field of view, etc. And like I said, I'm sure it's different from all, a 4 to a 5 to a 6 to the new 7s. I'm sure it's different on all of them. But the easiest way for me is I've got a PC. So what I do is I got my cord that came with my charging unit. I plug it in the side over here, and on this side just regular USB. I plug it into my tower, and I've got Windows 10, so it's got that plug and play technique. It recognizes all your softwares and stuff like that. So you plug my camera in, it does its thing, it bloops, and there it is. Let me turn this camera around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so here's my computer screen on its home page. Like I said, it's just Windows 10, nothing spectacular. But anyways, you're gonna take and hook your USB plug up to the front of my tower here. I'm trying to find it in the dark. I got the lights turned out so the monitor will show better. And obviously I can't find the hole in the dark. There it is. Plug it up. It recognizes it. You should see a small icon right down here in the bottom corner. See my finger? Should see it right here in the bottom corner. It's going to be kind of looks like a camera. So I'm going to take my mouse, I'm going to hover over here, click on it, and there it is. Hero 4 Silver. And I'm going to go right here. I'm going to have to show you these because my white on my screen is extremely bright. So I'm going to have to go, you're going to go right here, which is going to say import pictures and video. Click on it. You're going to get another sidebar over here. It's going to tell you to tag these pictures. I typically try to name them whatever I'm going to name my video. So I don't know. This one I'm going to call it junk because this is just random footage of me walking around the house basically. So I had something to import to show y'all. And then you're going to come all the way over here to this corner. Finger again. You're going to come over here to this corner and click import. Boom. I'm sure you can see the green bar. Let me turn the camera just a tad. You can see the green bar. There it is. Now see, I've got mine set up that when it goes there, I can come click over here. Click on it. And it will take you just to Windows Media Player to go in and let you look at the footage. So we don't need that. Then once I do that, it saves it to my pictures folder. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to open my GoPro Studio. That's my software that I use to edit with. It's super simple, super crazy. But before I do that, let me click here. This is regular internet. You're going to go to GoPro.com, okay? And you can either go right here in the center of the page, which you cannot see. In a second. There you go. You can either go right here to the center of the page, says apps, or you can go over here to, let me change hands. You can go over here to the search bar and type in GoPro Studio. I tried it beforehand. Let's see here. GoPro Studio. I tried it beforehand and it didn't come up, but it did down at the very, very, very bottom. Just keep scrolling all the way down. It came up with quick for desktop. It seems to me that when you, I don't know this for sure, somebody will have to correct me because I do have quick for desktop. I don't know where it came from, so I must have downloaded it and it had Studio available with it. So just go ahead and click on that, download that, so on and so forth, and that should get you in works for doing GoPro Studio. Alright, so I'm going to minimize this and I'm going to go over here. My GoPro Studio is hanging out over here on the side of my taskbar. We're going to open that up. And like I said, GoPro Studio is silly simple. You know, for you guys that are trying to, you can see my record light flashing on the screen. For you guys that are trying to just get out on the water, get some video, make a video for YouTube and get it up there, GoPro Studio. If you're using a GoPro, GoPro Studio is probably the easiest that there is. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to open your GoPro Studio. You're going to have three different, my screen keeps blacking out. Okay, you're going to have three different, starting right here, you're going to have three different edits. You're going to have the view and trim, you're going to have your actual edit, and then you're going to have your export, which your export's going to convert everything over to, I believe it's a WAV file, which is going to be your YouTube compatible. So let's just go ahead and go right, damn it, I forgot to show you where to go. Let's just go ahead and go right here. It says import new files. Click import new files. Make sure you've got the right folder open that your camera put it in. Like I said, mine is labeled as pictures library. We're going to use this. You're going to click the file that you want, which is going to be this one. And then come down here to the bottom and click open. click, that was the folder. Now you're going to click the file. Now you're going to click open again. And it's going to load it in to your studio. So you're going to come right here in the center. You're going to press play. And there's basically your, I think it's an AVI is what it's called. There's basically your AVI that your GoPro took. Okay, so this is basically your AVI that comes straight out of your GoPro. So what you're going to do, and this is just what I do. This is not the way to do it. This is just what I do. If you watch my videos, you know that I have a small little intro piece where I'll say something. Then I have my channel intro, and then I go into the video. And that's basically how we're going to edit this. This is just going to be a little trash video that I'm throwing together for editing purposes, just to show y'all how to do it. So basically what we're going to do is, you've got right here, you've got an in and an out, a mark in and a mark out. And basically what that does, that allows you to trim this piece of footage to what you want it to look like. You can do the same thing in step 2 in editing, but it's not something that's important to do right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit play. I've got my sound turned off so that way you don't hear it. So we're going to let it roll for 3 or 4 seconds. You got a little counter over here that tells you how long your video is, where you're at in your video on the left hand side. And on the right hand side over here, you've got a counter that tells you how long your chunk of video is. This particular chunk is 42 seconds. So we're going to pretend that we're going to cut it at 30 seconds. We are at 28, 29, 30 seconds and 16, whatever it is. So we're going to come over here to the mark out, and we're going to mark it out. So that has cut your 42 second video down to a 30 second. You've basically interrupted it. And what we're going to pretend here is that we're going to pretend like we're going to let me talk for 30 seconds, and then we're going to throw our intro in, our channel intro in. So from here, we're going to come over here to this corner. This one says, I don't know if you can see it on the screen or not, but it says add clip to conversion list. You're going to add your clip to your conversion list. Boom. There it is. Right there. So that's your 30-second clip. Now I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to import a new file. I'm going to go back to my pictures section because that's where I keep this particular piece of info. And this is my OutlawTV Bandits intro. That's going to be my fish. So we're not going to shorten this guy up any because we just basically click and copy and paste and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to add him to the conversion list. Now we can come back up here to our top piece, click on it. It brings it back in. It's still cut to length. We can take, right here we got a little drag bar that we can drag it to certain parts of the video. So we're going to drag it all the way over here to the 30, right around there, to around the 30:15 mark, because that's where we cut it off at. We're going to mark it in. It just got rid of everything from here this way in the video. So you've got the last basically roughly around 15 seconds, because this video is 42 seconds long. You get the last 15 seconds right there. So we're going to go ahead and add that to our conversion list. And there it is. So now we've got over here on this side, we've got our original first piece that we cut off at 30 seconds. We've got our channel intro with the fish. And then we've got our last 15 seconds or so of that original piece of video. So you're going to do this with every one of your pieces of videos. So let me find one here that's going to have a lot of stuff in it. There we go. That one. It's got 3. So anyways, we're going to go here. Now we're moving on to our next clip, basically. And you're going to open up your next clip. It's going to bring it right, boom, there. It changes the screen here. And as you can see, the screen's kind of blurry. So that's basically where the camera started at. So what I like to do is I'll take it and start it, cut the first few seconds off. That way it gets rid of the blurry. And then we got a nice clean video clip. So on this particular one, just for editing's sake, we're not going to cut anything on it. So we can just go back down here, hit the pause, come back over here, add the conversion clip. Boom, there it is, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Okay, So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Basically, with all these clips, we're not gonna cut anything on any of these clips. So that added that clip. Come back over here, import new file, Jeep 003. There's that one. We'll go ahead and add it to our conversion clip. Boom. So there we go. We've got our Jeep intro 001-001 AVI. We've got our Bandits intro AVI. We've got our Jeep intro 001-002 AVI. Then you've got your Jeep 1, Jeep 201, Jeep 301. So that's all your clips. Basically, you're going to make a video out of that. Let's just say this particular video, but let's just say that this particular video here, that's all we're going to do with it, is just basically tie those, what is that, 4, 5, 6 clips together. So now that we've done that, we've got this here. You're going to come down here to this lower corner, lower right hand corner. It says convert all. Click convert all. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little red bar right there. It's starting to grow. That's it doing its processing. It's 12%, 17%, 19%, 21%. It's going to do that to each one of these clips. When it's done, it'll allow this edit bar up here will turn white like this view and trim is. And then you can go to step 2 and edit. So right now we just got the prompt at the very bottom of the page. It says proceed to step 2. You click that. Boom. And it's going to give you a thing here that you can choose a template. I always roll with a blank. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Why is it every time I do a video I have the hiccups? Anyways, I usually choose a blank template because these others, they're 30 seconds, a minute 54, a minute to 28 seconds, you know, stuff like that. And you know, my blank template I can run from a 5-minute video to all the way up to, you know, 30-45-minute video. So anyways, we're going to go to create. This is real simple. You've got your 6 clips over here on the left hand side of the page. You've got a medium column up here, which is going to be if you go to like YouTube Creator and download music, it'll give you the option for that. And then you've got a thing up here for title, which we'll cover here in a little while. So first thing we're going to do is you're going to take this your very first clip, and I think you can click on it and preview it. But what you want to do is you want to click on it and drag it from up here all the way down to here. Boom. There you go. Now you've got it there. One of the cool things about the GoPro Studio is over here on the right hand side. These are all your settings. They control your speed of your video. They control the fade in, the fade out, the audio controls, white balance, image controls, framing, etc. I usually don't mess with any of that stuff other than the video controls if I want to slow everything down or I want to fade in something or fade something out. And in the audio controls, I tend to jack my audio up at times when I'm on the kayak because my audio pickup is so far back behind me, or even like my actual channel fish intro thing, it seems to be pretty loud, so I kind of dial it down a little bit so that way it doesn't blast you. So back to what I was saying, down here on the bottom you've got some filters. You've got a non-filter, you have a Pro Tune filter, a 1970s filter, a 4x3 center, crop, a 4x3 wide, a candy color, a day for night, a hot day, night vision, sepia, vignette large, vignette medium, vignette off. Typically I tend to, if I'm in a dark environment, kind of like this particular video clip is, I'll run with a non, or one of the ones I really like is I like to run the Pro Tune. I think that's pretty much just GoPro's way of saying adding a 0.5% sharpness to the video. So you know, like I said, it just really depends. There's your non, there's your Pro Tune. But like I said, if I'm out in the daylight in the kayak, then I Pro Tune all day long. It just makes everything much more vivid, much more brighter, much more, you know, everything. So that's usually the first thing I'll do is I'll pick my filter, then I'll click my footage and I'll watch my footage. If it needs to be adjusted, I adjust it. either adjust the volume, adjust whatever. For our particular scenario here and me recording my computer screen, I've got my volume turned off because I don't want to have to try to talk over this bearded white guy on screen talking. So anyways, let's just say that that's what we're going to do right there. We're going to throw everything together just like it is. We're not going to, you have the same thing here. You have your mark in and your mark outs on this side, along with a, you can split the current clip into 2 clips. I've never tried using that, so I'm not exactly sure what it does. But anyways, let's just pretend that we're not going to cut anything out of here, and we're going to use it just like it is. So there's our first clip. Now let's go ahead and take, same thing, we're going to click on the fish, drag the fish down here, and there it is. It just drops it right in next to it. If you'll notice, there's a little plus sign in between these 2 clips. That's to give it a fade. Basically a fade from one clip to another. I'll show you here on the, not the next clip, but the following clip, we'll play with the fade a little bit. So again, the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead. You always want to, whatever clip you're working on, you want to make sure that it's highlighted in yellow like this, because if not, then you're going to throw it on the previous clip or something like that. So this one's in yellow. This is the one I'm working on, and I'm going to add the Pro Tune to it just to give it a little bit of a different look. Okay, go ahead and play it, and that's what it looks like. Basically, that's just that clip by itself. For instance, we were talking about the mark ins and the mark outs on this particular part. For some reason, let me go back here. For some reason, my intro has a noise at the very end of it. I don't know if it's something to do with the original editing of it or whatever. So I always go back in and cut the last few seconds off. So what you're going to do to do that is you're going to drag this yellow bar to the section that you want in here, which it's also showing you the same thing over here. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but there's a little square right here. That's the very end of the video. This white diamond, that's your cursor where you're at on the timeline. So I'm going to come to right here and click mark out. And if you notice, I don't know if you did or not, but it moved that little square over underneath the diamond, which basically means that it cut that last little piece of footage off there. So we're going to say that that one's good. And we're going to take and drag and drop our third clip. There it is. It's in yellow. We're going to add the Pro Tune to it. And we're going to play it. And this is one of the nice things about it is you can play the entire thing all the way back from here in the beginning all the way through to your very end piece. So let's just pretend that we're not going to do anything with that clip either. So now we're going to move on to our 4th clip. We'll drag and bring our 4th clip down here. And there it is. It's blurry in the beginning. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. But let's just go ahead and, for the sake of editing a video, we've got it in yellow. We'll go over here, do our Pro Tune to it, give us that 5% difference. Watch the video itself, see if we can notice this. That's what it looked like before. That's what it looks like with the Pro Tune. Just cleaner, sharper. So we're going to pretend that we're going to cut the first, I think it looks like 56 seconds off this video. So we're going to come over here and do the mark in. Watch this. This little square right here. Doop, it moved up under the diamond. That first section of video is gone now. So we cut that all out. Now we want to add a transition here because we went from this guy talking to this guy talking looking at a Jeep. So we want to add a nice little transition. This is something that I don't like about the GoPro Studio. You have no other transitions. The only transition you have is what GoPro Studio has, and it's just one. So I'm going to click this plus right here. And as you can see now, I'm standing there, and then there's kind of like a fade into the Jeep behind me where it wasn't there before. I'm going to take my little bar here and drag it back just a tiny bit and press play and let you see what that did. Gave you a nice little fade in from one clip to another, just a basic transition. Same thing, if you want to play with stuff, you can come over here and fade your clip in or fade your clip out, make it go to black screen, and then, you know, do a transition or something like that. But you know, typically I try not to get that involved in it. So you know, I try to keep everything as simple as possible. Simple equals cleanliness. So right now we've got 4 clips out of a total of 6. So we'll go ahead and drop this 5th clip in here. We'll highlight it, Pro Tune it, add our fade, back off a few seconds, and it will fade from there to there. So pretty simple at this point. You know, you've got a break in your footage up here in the beginning. You've got your channel intro. You've got the end of your break, and then you got fades in between clips. You know, not bad. You're getting onto a professional video making level versus some amateur with a cell phone. So again, we're gonna not cut anything on this video here, on that clip. So we're gonna add our 6th and final clip in. It's in yellow. We're gonna click our Pro Tune. We're gonna click our transition, check our transition, see if we like the way it looks. Yes, we do. Awesome. So there's what we've done there. So basically we have a video now. Let's go back and add a title. So we're going to come here. This is, take your yellow bar, drag it all the way back to the beginning. Start playing and stop your yellow bar wherever you want your title to come in. So I stopped it roughly at 4 seconds in. No, that ain't right. Anyways, I don't know what that's all about. 20 seconds in, because the total video is 4 minutes or 4:20, and we're at 4 minutes left to play. You're going to come up here to the top left hand, title. There's your title. Just says title. Come over here to this. This is where you do all your proofing, all your editing, all that kind of stuff in this section right here. So we're going to go there. We're going to erase the word title. Bam, it went away. And you're going to put what your title is going to be. Let's just call this some junk and stuff. How about that? Sound good? Okay. Now then you can come down under here, and there's font. You can change your font. Drop it down. You can go to something like that. You can go to something like that. You can go to something like that. Way back when I first started doing this, you know, again, I like to keep stuff simple. I decided on one particular font, and I've used it pretty much since the beginning. And the one I use is the Gaudy Stout Normal. So says some junk and stuff. It's really big. So then you can go down to the next line down under font and change your size. Typically what I do is I'll drop it down. Now you can come over here, you can move it around on the screen. This really doesn't serve a purpose for you, because you can move it around on the screen, but when you drop it from here down to here and throw it in with that video, it's going to be all over the place. So I kind of just throw it in the center of the screen as much as I can. I get it roughly to the size that I want. The next one down is going to be your fill color. You can pick whatever color you want. You can pick from red to black, to blues, to purples, to greens, whatever. So we'll just stay with this green. I want something a little bit sharper. And you can just click around here in this little section right here to kind of come up with the green that you want till you find something you like. I'm going to do something really bright and gaudy and obnoxious. And then you click OK. There it is right there. The next line down, excuse me, the next line down is going to be your stroke. Stroke is basically the background around your letters. You can go with no stroke, you can go with some stroke, you can go with a lot of stroke. Myself, I like to take it and fill it all the way up to a 10. It ranges on a scale from 1 to 10 by a point system. I take it all the way up to 10, and I'll do a black background on it. And we'll go cancel because it was already on a black background. And basically once you've got this set up, you come over here to this side, you grab a hold of this and drop it right there, right next to your yellow line. You want to drop it on your yellow line so that way you have it indexed where you want it to come in. Now you can come in and grab this with your cursor and move it wherever you want to move it. And again, like I said, I always try to keep everything simple, either top, bottom, you know, something silly like that, you know, stupid simple. So there's our title, and our title is going to run for, I don't know exactly how long. So anyways, let's back it off and press play. And there's our title playing underneath us. Now, one of the things we can do, you got to go back here and make sure that this is highlighted in yellow. The lettering is highlighted in yellow. Your title is highlighted in yellow because that's what you're going to be editing. You can come in and do a fade in, which will cause it to back all the way off of it. Now you'll see that this timeline's moving and it's there. It's starting to fade into the screen. And there it is at full color. Or you can go, again, make sure this is highlighted in yellow. Dial our fade in all the way back. Dial our fade in all the way up. And this is just stuff that you're going to play with. So I dialed the fade out all the way up. And as it's going through playing, it starts to fade away. There's all kinds of other stuff in here that you can mess with. I just never have really messed with it, to be honest with you. So there gives you a title. And then from there, you're only allowed two lines of font. So that's, you know, kind of tricky because you got to work with it. But what I usually do is I'll go to the end of my video and I'll subtract roughly about 30 seconds from the length of the video. This one's 420. So I'm going to go back to like a 355. Right there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Anyways, I usually subtract about 30 seconds from my video time. Come back in here. It saves what you used over here before, other than your fill line. So, you know, it's pretty simple. You can run the same thing. And I'll do something kind of like, thanks for watching. And it's obviously going to be way too big, so I'll drop my size down. That's probably too small. I mean, it would work, but I just don't like it. We'll go to there. Pretty simple. Whoa, hold up. There it is. Now, like I said, I'll bring it and drop it down here in the center. Bring it, drop this piece right there. Boom, there it is. Oops, my stroke is off. That doesn't sound right. Anyways, center it up. There we go. There's my thanks for watching. And we'll add one more that says like, comment, subscribe. Looks just like any other outlaw video you see on the internet. We're going to drop our size down. And I kind of like to keep it where it's just inside, where all my stuff is just inside the screen. There we go. So I'm going to drag it and drop it here in the center. Make sure my stroke is all the way up. Oh, I don't want this on fade. Okay, so then we're going to take this and do the same thing there. And then we're going to take and move this down here to the bottom of the video. Now, if you notice, these guys aren't all the way to the end of the video. I want them to play all the way to the end of the video, so I'm going to come right here to where my cursor kind of turns into two arrows both ways, and I'm going to drag it all the way to the end of the video. Do the same thing there, all the way to the end of the video. I need to go a little bit further, right there. Okay, while I'm on that one, I want to take the fade out off of it because I want it to stay on the whole time. There we go. So we'll back off just a little bit so we can see it. And there's what we accomplished. I've got the first one just the tiniest bit off. But there we go. That's pretty much just edited and threw together a video. You know, you can do all kinds of other things, adding music. You've got 2 lines for audio. You can chop your audio up just like you chop this up. The only downside I see to Studio is that you cannot separate your GoPro video and your GoPro audio. I don't like it. It would be great if you could do it, because then I could run like a GoPro on a pole and a GoPro on my chest, use the video from the GoPro on the pole, use the audio from the GoPro on my chest, and get nice, crispy, clean audio that I don't have to jack the volume up on in editing. But you know, it is what it is. Hoping in 2019 we're going to get Vegas to start editing with instead of doing it with this, and you know, just step the game up a bit. So that's pretty much it. The next thing, I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to show you through it. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go here. The very last step 3 is to export. It gives you several different it gives you several options over here for what you want your format to be: YouTube, Vimeo, mobile device, HD 720, HD 1080, UHD 4K, archive and edit, or custom. I usually pretty much just leave mine on YouTube because that's what I'm using it for. And then you come over here and hit this export button. What this export's going to do is you've got 6 AVIs with a bunch of other little information like your titles and stuff like that. You've got these 6 AVIs. It's going to zip and compress them basically and turn them into a WAV file. an MP4 file basically. And that MP4 file is what you're going to convert over and put on YouTube. So you're going to go ahead and click this export. I'll click it, but I'm not going to hit enter to do it because I've already used this video. I've already put this video up on YouTube, so I don't need it there anymore. But you're going to click export. It's going to put it in my videos. There's the folder section, and you're going to give it a name. Just like I said in the beginning of all this, I'm going to kind of try to name this. And if you're doing this a lot like I do, it's something that that helps you out later on down the road. I'm basically going to name it the same thing I'm going to name my video on YouTube. I do it this way just in case I need to go back and like for instance, here's a good instance. In another couple of days, I'm going to do me a best 10 moments from my channel, my best 10 moments from my channel for 2018 or something like that. And I'm going to go back and take 10 clips from previous videos. And instead of messing with doing the AVIs, I'm going to do them with the MP4 files. And it just makes it a little bit easier. So you're going to name it. Let's just name it black. That's what we'll name it. All right. And then you click save. And it will take quite a bit of time to do that. So once you've done that and it's done, it's exported into your computer as an MP4. You open up the internet, go to YouTube, come over here to the camera, upload video. You want to just select files to upload. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to put it in videos because that's where I saved it from. And you're going to have all your AVIs and your MP4s from that particular video in here. Yeah, I got a lot. So anyways, you're going to have all your AVIs and your MP4s. I go through and clean my AVIs out about at least once a month. And just leave all my MP4s. That way, you know, I can go back to MP4s are going to be the actual video itself. So, excuse me, I had to get a drink of my soda. I'm getting dry mouth. So basically what you're going to do is whatever you named it, let's just say that you named it Vivitar Aero View Drone Test. You're going to click open it. Open it. That's weird. Maybe it's because I already have it on there. But anyways, you're gonna click your thing until it's open, and it'll start uploading and doing all its thing, and that's basically it. I don't think I need to tell you how to actually post up on YouTube, but if you want me to, I'll be more than happy to do it in another video. All right, folks, so that pretty much wraps it up. Hopefully I've accomplished what I started off to accomplish at the beginning of this video, and that's to basically show you how to take your GoPro, put it on your chesty, put it on your pole mount, put it on whatever, get out there, do your fishing, and then how to go home, throw your footage in the computer, and basically how to edit it with the GoPro Studio. And I didn't go into any depth on how to upload it onto YouTube and all that kind of stuff because I don't think I got to. If it's something you want to see, let me know. You know, for instance, just sidetrack here of trying to close this video out. But you know, for instance, I throw my video up on YouTube. Then I use YouTube's editing to go back in and add my 2 clips. You know, at the end of my video, I go, if you haven't seen that clip, and if you haven't seen that clip, I add that with GoPro software. GoPro, YouTube software, and then I add my little click to subscribe to my channel with the fish, my logo, with YouTube software, and anything else I need to do. There's quite a bit of little things you can do in there. I don't know if I need to go into depth on that for you guys or not, but it is what it is. If this video gets some decent views and people seem to respond to it pretty good, and it's something y'all are interested in seeing, I'll do another one here in the future on how to do your own custom thumbnails. I actually learned this from a different YouTuber's channel. Learned it from him, but it's just a little program that you can, it's actually on the internet. It's not even a program. You don't have to download anything or anything like that, but you just go in and open yourself an account with this website, and then you can go in and upload your photos and add titles and all that kind of stuff. And just like what I got into on this video, I just keep it nice and stupid simple. I use just simple fonts and stuff like that and just keep everything nice and simple. I've been dabbling with it a little bit more and trying to learn some extra techniques, some little suave stuff to add to the thumbnails and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm just basically rambling at this point. So y'all, I appreciate y'all watching like always. Still trying to hit that 500 subscriber mark. We're getting close. And as a reminder, when I hit the 500 subscriber mark, I'll do another Bass Pro Shop gift card giveaway. And if I don't see y'all between now and then, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, etc., etc. Like, comment, subscribe, and click on that for that video. Click on that video over there if you haven't seen that one, and hit that fish over here for the subscribe. All right, appreciate it, y'all. Laters.